greatest victories are not always ours to keep. At times, they are torn away, not through failure or fault, but by the quiet indifference of an unfair world. Yet the measure of a person is not found in what remains, but in what they dare to face. To stand before the Canaan, fire and taint, to confront it with courage, and to know within yourself that you tamed it. That is victory in its purest form. Recognition may falter, records may lie, but truth endures. What you have genuinely achieved lives beyond the judgment of others, for reality, not perception, is the final statement of work. Former WBA super featherweight world champion Lamont Roach Jr. is set to move up to 140 pounds to face Isaac Pitbull Cruz for the interim WBC junior welterweight title. Roach made the shift after a proposed August rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis fell through, opting not to wait on negotiations. Instead, he'll seize the opportunity to capture gold in a new division, making his third consecutive fight in a different weight class. The matchup comes at a pivotal moment as both fighters' storylines converge. Roach seeks to prove his adaptability and claim multi-divisional success, while Cruz looks to solidify his reputation as one of boxing's most gruesome fighters. For each man, victory will be a defining step toward a full world title shot and greater prominence in the sport. Understanding the matchup begins with analyzing the styles. Lamont Roach Jr. embodies the pure boxer counterpuncher archetype, a fighter who thrives on precision, patience, and tactical control. His style is rooted in technical fundamentals and a deep understanding of timing and distance. Roach is highly strategic, not only on his punch selection, but also his precise punch placement. He works behind an educated jab, supported by disciplined footwork and an airtight defense made possible by his cat-like reflexes, which allow him to defend individual punches even within combinations. While Roach prefers to operate at mid to long range, where he can read opponents, draw out mistakes, and respond with sharp counters. He has also demonstrated excellent inside fighting, using slick defense and short, compact punches to control exchanges up close. He rarely wastes energy, focusing on efficiency, accuracy, and timing. This cerebral approach enables him to neutralize pressure fighters and frustrate aggressive opponents. His defensive reflexes, play of angles, and composure under fire reflect the classic textbook boxing foundation refined through discipline and ring intelligence.
Power to the dance.
Yes,
very much
we've
so.
seen in his career. There's a nice counter right.
Garcia, with the trying to straight left-handed, doesn't get good defense. Not the perfect combination, but a combination punching anyway. And there he's throwing, putting his punches.
Isaac Pitbull Cruz represents the pressure fighter swarmer archetype, a style defined by relentless forward aggression, physicality, and high-volume power punching. Being short, compact, and explosive, Cruz uses his low stance and tight guard to stay low and slip inside opponent's reach, where he unloads devastating hooks and uppercuts with bad intentions. Once on the inside, the Pitbull mauls opponents to both head and body. His offense is built on constant pressure and power-focused combinations designed to force opponents into uncomfortable exchanges and gradually wear them down. Cruz's style relies less on finesse and more on pace, aggression, and durability, pushing the tempo to test his opponent's cardio, composure, and heart. If they cannot keep up or deter him with power, his suffocating pressure becomes inevitable. Though his approach leaves him open to counters, Cruz's resilience, chin, and sheer will often allows him to take punishment and oppose his will, making him one of the most grueling pressure fighters in the sports today.
I've yet to see the person. Yeah, what helps Cruz a lot is the fact that he's so small. He's got,
there's a quick counter left hook off of Romero. There's the right hand of Cruz. It snuck inside the guard too.
A fight is only as good as a strategy they're able to execute. For Lamont Roach, his game plan centers on boxing intelligence, movement, and timing to neutralize Cruz's forward aggression. His jab will be the foundation of a strategy used to control the pacing, keep Cruz's head upright for straight punches, and disrupt the mauler's forward rhythm. A consistent, disciplined jab forces Cruz to shoot from longer, less effective ranges rather than closing the distance where he's most dangerous. Roach's movement and defensive framework will be the true X factor in this matchup. By keeping Pitbull constantly turning and resetting, Roach can make Pitbull's aggression work against him. Sharp lateral movement and well-timed pivots will prevent Cruz from setting his feet, gradually feeding his impatience and leading him to throw from poor positions. Roach must avoid being trapped against the ropes at all costs. After landing his combinations, he should immediately exit at angles, using quick steps and pivots before Cruz can counter with the signature hooks. When Cruz inevitably breaks the distance, these are the moments Roach can exploit, shooting straight punches between Cruz's wide, looping shots. If the exchanges become too chaotic, Roach should clinch to neutralize the inside pressure and reset the range. The critical element for Roach is maintaining tight technique and catch all the wide shots while shooting straight punches down the middle. If he can do this consistently, Cruz will be an open target all night, taking damage on the way in while allowing Roach's accuracy and composure to overcome Cruz's volume and aggression across 12 rounds.
Yeah, I'm comfortable giving Lamont Roach.
Man, that was a big left hook by Lamont Roach. It was good exchange right.
Cruz's game plan is straightforward but demanding. Cut off the ring, close the distance, and battle Roach with power punches. His objective is to guide Roach towards the ropes, forcing him to find the tight spaces where his movement becomes compromised. Once Roach is pinned, Cruz unloads looping combinations designed to break the guard. A key tactical element for Cruz is attacking the body to drain Roach's movement and slow down the slickster. The bodywork is essential for making Roach physically feel the effects of moving up in weight class, reducing his ability to circle and escape. Roach has a tendency to hold the pocket at times. At these very moments, Cruz must make the fight ugly, pulling the lighter puncher into exchanges in order to give one to take one. By forcing these rough exchanges, Cruz can shift the fight's momentum. Cruz must push the pace from the opening bell when Roach is known to ease into the fight, calculating patterns and rhythm. If Roach cannot get his timing and set his feet early, his counters become less sharp. The early pressure is essential. By forcing Roach to respond immediately from the first minute rather than allowing him to settle in, Cruz disrupts the counterpunch's rhythm, breaking his timing. When on the inside, Cruz must really dig into his punches, with the understanding that even if 90% misses, one clean punch can change the entire fight. Simply throwing haymakers after haymakers will allow Roach to easily counter. So instead of throwing heavy on every punch, Cruz must use his opening punch to draw a defensive maneuver from Roach to then let loose the fire. It is in these trigger points when these exchanges favor the bigger puncher by allowing Roach's counters to lane while catching him in the middle of his own counter game. Interestingly, Cruz is also a dangerous counterpuncher when he's able to slip past the lead jab. While primarily an aggressor, he can capitalize on Roach's attempts to establish range, making him a threat even when not initiating exchanges.
And then just stop.
There's a left and right. Cruz working with the overhand right. We're going to see a beauty that gets in. And
Heading into the fight, several pivotal questions loom that could define the outcome. The first is whether Roach can withstand Cruz's pressure at 140 pounds for 12 rounds. His movement and ring IQ are elite, but Cruz's non-stop aggression and power has a way of breaking even the most composed technicians. Equally important is whether Cruz can effectively cut off the ring. If he fails to trap Roach or time his lateral exits, he may spend the fight chasing instead of connecting. Another key factor is whether Roach can earn Cruz's respect early with sharp, accurate counters that discourage constant forward aggression. If Cruz walks through those shots unbothered, he'll dictate the pace and force Roach into uncomfortable exchanges. Cruz's looping punches to the body raises questions. Can he slow Roach's movement enough to neutralize his defensive rhythm? If those body shots take effect early, Roach's ability to pivot and control distance could fade by the middle rounds. Ultimately, in the moments Roach chooses to hold his ground and allow exchanges, will he be able to neutralize Pitbull's combinations enough to punch between them? This fight may very well come down to who controls the tempo. Roach thrives in measured, tactical rhythm, while Cruz excels in chaos. It's a battle of precision versus pressure, accuracy versus volume, and discipline versus aggression. The fighter who imposes his style first will likely dictate the story of the fight. Lamont Roach Jr. by unanimous decision.